My name is Marcel Lambert, and I'm here today at Chef Annie's Kitchen here in Guelph. We are going to taste some authentic Vietnamese cuisines that you can find at the Nguyen's family restaurant that's located at 400 Speedvale Road in Guelph. We are going to have conversation that lets us a little bit in on some of what the cuisines are all about, where they've come from, and also where Chef Annie had gotten even the idea to start a family-run business. This is not something you're going to want to miss. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Have some tea.
So typically, when you have guests in a Vietnamese house, the first thing that we always offer our guests is a cup of tea.
Okay.
So you will see a set like this, always in the living room when you come in, you always see a set of tea just already ready there.
Okay.
You know, and then all the elders love to drink tea, so they drink all day long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So especially when you have guests, you always prepare the best tea to serve your guests.
Yes. And this is good tea, jasmine green tea?
Jasmine green tea, yeah.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite. My friend know I like the tea, because this is the Vietnamese brand back home. See, and nobody selling them here. And then every time when my mom and my parents come back to visit, they go and visit Vietnam every year now. Wow. And she always come and like, bring this to her, bring this to her.
Oh, no. So I like that. What are other traditions in terms of welcoming guests into your home? So tea is one of them.
Tea is a must, yes.
Yeah.
Then we prepare food. Usually we prepare some whatever the greatest that we can, and we will that day we know our guests come over. We also not like asking our guests, but you know who's your friend and what they like.
Yes.
And you tend to prepare that, or you prepare something. Let's say that the best dish that you have in your house. Sometimes the best ingredient that you save for only special occasion.
Yeah.
That's when you bring it out. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like sharing the best. That's why when you go to a countryside, you will see people that's extremely generous.
Right.
Because when you have guests, that means people care enough to come and visit you. So you want to treat them, almost like the best way you can present yourself to.
Right.
Right. And then to welcome them, because just to pay the respect that how much they care to come and visit you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very great connection. When I find that mostly in the countryside still the same. So every time when I go back and I go and visit my friend or I go visit my relative back home, and if I go to a countryside, you feel it's more homey.
Yeah.
You feel more welcome. You feel like you at home. They make you feel that comfortable. Yeah. And same thing, we over here, even we live like far away from home. Right. But I also like to make this is my home.
Right. Yes.
Right? And at first, when I just came to Canada, I don't know how to, because it's still new.
Yes.
This is a new environment, new country.
Yeah.
I was barely speak any English at all.
So what were some of the, as you mentioned, that there's a certain culture and just going to people's homes, the way that they welcome you, how does that differ to being here in Canada? What did you notice off coming here?
When I first came here, I noticed like every door is closed.
Yeah.
I'm like, why people door is closed? It's morning, right? So back home, the first thing when you wake up, you open your front door.
Okay.
You open your front door, you open your window. Every single door needs to be open when you wake up in the morning.
Wow.
Yes. And then after that you clean up your house, sweep your house, and then go and prepare breakfast. And then when I come over here, every single door is always closed. I'm like, and I thought like, We only close the door when nobody home.
Which makes sense, right?
Right? So when the door is closed, you know no one home, or maybe they take a nap or something. But at least even when we take a nap, our window is open.
Yes.
But our main door is closed. Here it's opposite. And that is shocked me. Culture shocking.
Yes.
And then because I went back home, there only one culture, right?
Right.
When I come over, there are so many like surprising things that then I start to learn. Oh, this is different. But how can I cope into it?
Yeah.
How can I learn and understand so so I can blend in, I can adapt as quick as possible. So that is something I was like, oh, so this is Canada. It's cold and nobody. At first, I feel like there's no connection.
Right. Yeah.
In the neighborhood back home, I open the door and say hi to your neighbor. Hi. Like in Vietnamese and stuff like that. And then sometimes we ask each other, "Are you ready?" Because usually after that some like mom or auntie or my my older cousin, they will head to the supermarket to go and get fresh ingredients to prepare for lunch.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you may ask your neighbor, when are you going? I'm coming with you, right? They go together and stuff like that, right? Just carry a basket and then we go. Over here, you don't feel connection. Sometimes you don't really talk to your neighbor for years.
Yes.
You don't even know your neighbor name.
No, you just see them.
You see them sometime, right?
Yeah.
But that is the differences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I come from, my parents are not from Canada, but I'm first generation Canadian. And I find as you're speaking, there's so many similarities in terms of how my parents grew up. They're West Indian. It's the same idea. You wake up in the morning, there's chores, there's things to do, your door opens, and it's a very, it's almost like a fellowship in terms of people down the street. You're going somewhere, hey, how's it going? And there's you don't pass someone on the road without saying hi, right? And the same thing, fresh every morning. There's so many households that don't even have fridge. They won't have a fridge because every morning they get up, they buy what they have, or they have their gardens, they make fresh bread, this kind of thing.
The same thing, we do the same.
Right?
We raise our own, chicken, pig.
Right.
Yeah, and we always have a garden with lots of herb and vegetable that's ready.
Yes, yeah.
Sometimes if you don't have the protein, that's why you go and get some fish or some meat.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that's coming. There's divers that have gone down and pulled that up for the day, right? So everything is so fresh. It's so different. So when we come here, it's the same idea where my parents' stores may not always be open. Actually, sometimes it's actually open. But the door is always unlocked, and you'll just sit there and see people coming in, going, and there's always food because there's always someone coming. So the idea is that when someone comes in, there's food ready to serve.
Oh,
right? So it's nice to see that all around the world we're connected in that way. There's just different, and then you come to Canada, and because there's so many different cultures, it looks different.
Yes.
But it, like what you said, it's bringing your culture is chasing you. So it was like you had to now figure out how do I do it here? What does it look like here? And so I see.
Oh, the setup.
That you found a way.
Okay, so back home as a Vietnamese cultures, we always cook we have outdoors. Because it's always open, open concept. So when we cook, it's almost like you feel you cook outdoor. So when I come here, the door always locked because it's so cold. Now I understand why the door always locked because it's cold. So cooking outside, especially some of Vietnamese food, it's meant to cook outside, not inside.
Okay.
It's gonna smell entire house and it will never leave.
Right.
If you keep that door shut, right?
Yes.
And for year and year, sometimes some of my friends in Toronto, what do? We cook in the garage.
Yes, we do the same thing. Especially when it's like fish.
Yes.
We fry fish
We fry it in the garage, right? Or maybe in the middle of winter, sometimes I will use the portable gas one, I bring it to outside.
And just on the
yeah,
back
right there.
corner.
And I just, just sneak out and then just fry my fish or my meat and then close the door and wait for it to cook. So that, I've been doing that for years. And I'm like, oh my God, I wish I have an outdoor kitchen. And I'm like, Annie, why you wish? You can just build your own.
Right?
So I start with, I want to build a tree house for my kids. So I got it done. And then I build my garden. And then I look at this area, I'm like, I can put on an outdoor kitchen. So many customers at the restaurant watching the video, I'm like, where is this? I'm like, in Guelph. No way. They thought I was in Vietnam.
No. And it sounds like community, cooking, gardening. These are the things that.
Oh, that's the key to connect, right? When it comes to food, it doesn't matter what background you are, what culture you are. When it comes to food, it has that sort of powerful connection.
Yeah.
When it comes to food, period. And I'm so glad that I'm so into food. Food is my passion. So I use that as a tool to connect with people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and that's it. You're right. So anytime there's a gathering, food is there. People rejoice. They have a great time. They have communication. They talk. There's something that happens when food is in the center of that, and people just really come together. So it is awesome.
Yeah, because when you create that food, there's story behind it already. And then when we eat them, and we can share a lot of story, we can share culture and heritage and everything based on that.
Yeah.
So
I find that we find so many similarities in one another as well over food, because just as we've sat here already, we find like, hey, this is normal for me, it's normal for you.
Yes.
And it's the simple thing, the certain meals, I'm sure that there's going to be, as different as the cultures are, something that there's a commonality in.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we don't even know it, that we have all that similarity until we open up.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Until we talk to each other, connect to each other, and then we find a connection in there.
Yeah.
I think so. That's why I open up. That's why I open up to everyone.
No, it's important. It's important.
So my rose is start to sleeping. I think the weather is starting. It's changing, right?
Yeah.
So I have some of the herb here. It's Vietnamese herb. I just put this one down. This one is good. Next year I will come back.
Nice.
It's called tito.
Tito.
We put them into some of our like noodle soup, but it has to be very specific what kind of noodle soup that we put in.
Is this similar to like that of a basil or something?
Smell it.
Oh yeah.
Yap cá. It's like
cá.
fishy. Smell it. Like
interesting.
Fishy mint.
Yeah.
So it smells a little bit fishy, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we can put this in our fresh roll later. If you want to try it,
nice.
You can just harvest your own.
Cool.
And this one will come back every year.
Yeah, no, this looks like something that has just taken charge of this garden.
Yes, it is. And my mom will harvest them and bring it to the restaurant. We have supplier.
Okay.
We have like some of Asian supermarket nearby. So suppliers. Doesn't go well this year because right here when I put this one down, it doesn't have enough sun.
Okay.
So, but here I have another bed of herb.
Yeah.
This is more like Canadian.
Yes, thyme, parsley, rosemary. I see it.
So my husband loves pasta, spaghetti, right?
Yeah.
So I grow this just so when I can make those for him.
Okay.
So that Pablo came around. No, I built this one for myself. I like tea and coffee and relax a bit, right? So I just built this one. Up there is for my children, but I think I'm gonna take over.
You went up and above when it said treehouse.
I know. I'm just like, so that's gonna be my studio because they're not really using it. But I just like to sit here and then have my tea, you know, especially when the weather a little bit hot. Right here, this area I just really cool down and have very nice breeze. I just, of course, just all of that starting because of the storm. It just really dropped.
But that's beautiful how you did that.
Yeah, I
that's
try.
really nice. That's really cool. So how do you find your work-life balance? It's good to have these spaces like this now.
I know a must.
Yes.
I feel like, how I say, you know, when it's always run. When I'm in the restaurant, you can see me just.
Yes, I've seen it.
Beside the restaurant, I also have the Nguyen food in, like producing sauce and stuff like that.
Right.
And then cooking show, and then community. So sometimes I come here just to meditate, just to, relax. And when I'm here, Pablo can tell. Sometimes I cook inside the house, even for like some cooking instruction. It's more commercial.
Okay.
But when he see me here, it's different person.
Okay.
Like this is
it's
my
traditional. Yes.
This is my place where I can just really be myself. And I feel so relaxed, and I don't have any restriction when I'm here.
Right.
I just be me, just be Annie.
And
This is my bamboo section.
Ooh.
This is year number 3 or 4.
Wow.
I always, so that was our first year when we filming. And then Pablo took me to one of the park. What is the name of the park, Pablo? Anyway, they have bamboo. And I was jump to the moon when I see it. Because I feel just almost like you see banana tree.
Like, hey.
You feel like, and after that I do lots of research. We'll see where can I find bamboo.
Right.
This is like a troop, like smaller bamboo tree. And then I keep searching, and I went to Mississauga Garden Center, the Asian one, and I found them. So I took 5 of them and I blend them down.
Yeah.
So this area, this year it doesn't do really well, like I said, but you know, I just want this one to have shade. So when you sit down here, this is really Vietnamese. No, serious. Like, you know, back home, especially countryside, my auntie probably will build something like this, and underneath she will have it's almost like a bed. We actually sit on it. It's like this, completely covered, completely flat. And then we roll that one, just right on top. And we sit on it to have lunch, dinner, or have guests over in the front of the yard. Front house. It's just so beautiful, that image of my countryside. So I just like, not really. You can sit there if you want, but when you come here,
this as well.
It's just almost like rebuild the image that you know my parents growing up with,
and adapt it to the setting here, right? Like, it's pretty cool.
Like example, like this one, right? It's so much. This is very Vietnamese. It's one of the herb that when we see it, we know it's Vietnamese herb. Right. So when I grow something like this, it's just so important for my mom to share with her friend back home. Like, I live in Canada, but this is also my home here because I have all this surrounded and available. Right. And this is extremely healthy. Right. All the herb in Vietnamese, we eat lots of vegetables. In our food, it's mainly vegetables. And then maybe another 25% protein, and then carb, another 25 carb, but half of it is veggie. Right. So herb and veggies is almost a must-have in Vietnamese food.
Yes.
Right there. Yes. So we can use that in our fresh roll. There
awesome.
You go.
Very nice.
So I just let them go.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna show you how we do Vietnamese fresh roll.
Awesome.
We call gỏi cuốn.
Gỏi cuốn.
Gỏi cuốn, yes. This is my favorite. My mom and me, we always do this almost every week. Like, this is one of our top selling at the restaurant as well. So I have. This is the herb that we just we just got from our garden, right? So basically, we use rice paper. Go away, please. We use rice paper. You whatever protein you like, a little bit of noodle if you want, whatever veggie you want, and you roll everything together.
Yes.
So this is our cucumber. We just harvest. I'm gonna cut them out.
So I got one question for you. So with the rice paper, I've seen that they say that can be fried, it doesn't get fried, you just...
It depends on, how do you say? Yes, you can fry them, of course. But this is the thing with rice paper. When you fry them, what happens? It will be crispy for the first 5-10 minutes. But after that, if you don't eat them right away, it will be very chewy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So some of us may use rice paper to make into the deep fried spring rolls. But then you have to eat them as soon as possible.
Right.
So in the restaurant, I don't use rice paper. I use the whole week one.
Okay.
Because then the crispy will last longer.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
So some restaurants may use rice papers and then it's just it's invented like that. It's just you want to consume them as soon as possible.
Yes.
Otherwise, it will be like chewy, right? But yes, you can fry them. You can do almost anything with them. And depend on the thickness of the rice paper.
Right.
Sometimes you can, put them in the microwave.
Okay.
As well. I have the thicker one inside that I actually use it and put them in the microwave. But yes, so here we go. So we're gonna have all this ready, and then I'm gonna show you how we do fresh roll.
Awesome. This is something I like to try to make at home, but it doesn't work.
So I'm gonna soak this into cold water.
Okay.
Kind of like you rinse this on both sides.
So cold water and not warm water.
No. If you want to roll them really quick, then you warm water.
Okay.
Because right now I only have access into cold water.
Okay. I find because as soon as I use a little bit of warm water, it starts to get so soft
really quick.
So quick.
Yes.
That by the time you're rolling, you're like, it's sticking to, it's a mess.
Yes, it is.
So I'm
now
excited to learn about
we have
this.
time to do it with, if you start like this, right?
Okay.
So you can use entire one, but I like it easier if you cut them in half.
Okay.
It just roll much easier.
I'm learning the secrets.
No, it's no secret. Like I said, I share lots of recipe with everyone. I teach as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that you want people to understand. You have to be willing to share. So what you do, you put them like this.
Okay.
Right. Okay. It's good. So I'm gonna put 3 on mine as well. Right. To make it. Usually I put them there because it will be last, and then you see the shrimp at last. Right. Then I put lettuce. You like lettuce?
I love lettuce.
Okay, lettuce. Right. And then, what herb do you like? You like mint?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put mint.
And this is from your garden as well.
Yeah, we have mint in the garden. Yes. Right. Then
so
you
good.
wanna try the fishy lip?
Let's try it.
Let's try it. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, and then onions.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it's just very much based on whatever you like. There's no restriction at all.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cilantro.
Yes, just a little. Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Okay. Beans brown. Okay. All right, and then of course the cucumber that you just harvested. All right, and then noodles.
Yes.
I like noodles.
So in terms of cooking the noodles, what is the best way? Because I think that sometimes when we make it at home, especially when we don't know what we're doing, they either can come out like they're overdone or...
There are instructions in there, but usually with this type of noodle, it's called rice vermicelli noodles. You wait for the water to be boiled, and then you put them in.
Okay.
Keep stir them for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And after that, you drain it out and wash them with cold water at least twice.
Okay.
And then after that, just let them, maybe half an hour later, pour them, so it's not going to be too stick together. Okay. So I start like this. Right, you hold right here. You hold and you roll.
Ah.
Okay, not too fast. Just one time. Then here. Then here. Yeah, when you get to the middle. Yeah. This. Okay. Then you continue. You hold and you roll.
I've already learned the error of my way.
That's very nice.
Listen, this is the best it's ever been done. I'm gonna tell you, because of course in my mind I just roll, but now I understand
You
how
hold
you,
and you roll.
it's
Yes.
2 compartments.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Okay, so I'll be here. I'm just gonna do this. Okay.
Yeah, that bee wants food too.
I have peanut sauce. You
I
okay
love
with
the peanut sauce.
All right.
Yeah.
So just gonna let you try peanut sauce.
And so you've made this.
Yes, this is from a restaurant, so I didn't bring the whole bottle. 'Cause I don't think we'd be able to finish the whole bottle.
Listen, I would have finished it because it's really good.
So I just raw whatever we need. This is fish sauce. Okay.
This sauce, I gotta tell you, like, I love this sauce so much it makes me happy.
Oh really?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna let you try both. Cause you actually can dip on both.
Okay.
We dip them on both. You know, if at home we don't have peanut sauce, cause it takes too long to make peanut sauce.
Okay.
It's quicker to make this sauce.
Right.
Right.
And
So
what
yes.
is in that sauce? Are you able to share that with
Fish
us?
sauce.
Just fish sauce.
Yes, fish sauce, but I mix them with vinegar or maybe lemon lamb, then
Okay.
then chili and garlic.
It does, because it does taste different, but it's
Yes.
just, I find like when you use this with your food, it just brings the food to a whole different level.
Oh, absolutely, especially for dressing.
Yes.
Any kind of dressing,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Thank you. I can taste that leaf in there. Along with the cilantro. Very good.
Like the texture is a mix.
But it's crunchy, and that's what makes it taste so good.
Yeah, you can tell. Like in terms of how healthy they are, very.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because you have a balance of like lots of vegetable, little bit of carb, protein that you need. It's really balanced out. So that's why I think Vietnamese food is getting really popular, because people start to recognize the food is not too heavy and it's easy to digest.
Yes. Now, I think that is the big thing for me. We started coming to the restaurant because we worked very close by, but the food was so good that we're like, this is going to be our regular place. And one of the big pieces is in the middle of the day, in the middle of your work day, you don't want something that's going to make you want to fall asleep after you've eaten it, or it's so heavy on you for the remainder of your day. And that was the one thing that there wasn't one thing on your menu that was like, oh, this I like better more than this.
Everything is different. They all have their own unit.
Yes, but there's consistent in the way, in that same idea. They're light. You can feel that you're eating something clean and healthy. It's not putting an impact on your body in the sense of, there's certain things that I will eat as soon as I've eaten it. I just don't, my energy changes different because my body's working overtime to be able to work on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this is very good.
So this is mine. Then again, just like smear them all over. Then some onions. I love cilantro, so right. Then in terms of bean sprout and basil, you put them in as much as you want.
Okay. So then, if you went to school for fashion management, how did we arrive to cooking?
So this is the funny thing. When I was in school, when I came to this country, the first things, the first job I did, it was waitress.
Okay.
I was a waitress. I worked for a restaurant, like forever, like always do things in the front, right? And then during the break time, not break time, like downtime, the restaurant always have like around after the rush hour from lunch, there will be downtime. Then they will put me inside the kitchen.
Okay.
And then I will help with different stuff. And then, you know, you just work, but you're not really, how to say, blend in to do anything.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then in my mind at that time I still go to school, still do my thing, and you know, my hope it was like doing whatever that I want to do later, right?
Right.
I become a fashion designer. I like to create. I like fashion.
Yeah.
So I changed my major after that. But then a lot of things going on, and then I work for factory and stuff like that. There's so I work at the farm. I work so many jobs.
Wow.
But then I find one thing. When it comes to restaurant, it's almost in my blood. I just run it. I just do it, right? I feel comfortable with it. So, and then I decide to do what I'm do best. So years later, then my mom also worked for a restaurant. She a chef there. My brother also working for a restaurant as well.
Yeah.
So three of us like, why don't we just open our own restaurant?
Yeah.
And then so I look into it, start to plan it, and then we open one. And then I find, you know, sometimes you like to do something is one thing.
Right.
But when you want to do something, you like it, it doesn't mean that you good at it. Right? Or you best at it.
That's true. Yeah.
Something that it come to you naturally and you just so good at it.
Yes.
Start with that first.
Right.
Especially come to reality. You have to make a living first.
Yes.
Right? When now you can't even make a living at that time. I think sometimes really real. The way I think is so real. I'm like, no, I need to make a living first, and this is I'm good at it. I have all the background. I have all the support I need. You know, what else do I need, right? So
Right.
that's why we start restaurant.
Okay, and then here you are today.
Yes, and then after that, you know, especially I love to cook. I always cook it. I learned how to cook when I was 5-6 years old. That's when I start cooking already. And that's very typical for Vietnamese girl back home. Right? Sometimes like, what? 5 years old? What do you know? I'm like, oh, yes, you do.
You know a lot.
You know a lot, right? It's just like, oh, it's matter, do you want to learn, right? Or you have the environment and people that support you and allow you to learn.
Yes.
Right?
And there's less fear.
Yes.
You know, you're not afraid of the fire. You're not afraid of the stove. You're not.
No.
You need to. This is the beautiful thing at that age that
Yeah.
children
I got
take
burned.
everything. Oh yeah, you'll get burned.
No, like for real. I was so tiny and I tried to bring down the soup. I couldn't wait for my mom, and then I pour over myself.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the pan. I just have the scar.
Oh well, at least that's good. And even my daughter's 7.
Yeah.
But I teach her little things at the stove, so she can go there and make eggs. She can go there and make,
good for you.
because
Good
I'm
for her.
like, start now. I'm like, if there's anything ever happens to me, you can cook.
I will.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And cooking is such a crucial piece of everyday living. Like, you have to be able to cook. And when we see a lot of even just young adults or youth that do go off, they're on their own. It's the one thing that they now, if they didn't get that when they were younger, they're realizing they need to figure it out now. Because buying food every day is expensive. But if you find different ways to kind of offset that, then you can have the luxury of doing that and being able to bring those same elements into your home where you're cooking healthy meals.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So a lot of what we've seen here in your backyard, the cooking, the meals, this is something that we can find online.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So how did that start in terms of sharing your skill, your culture with the world?
I remember when COVID hit, and like that's the only time for longest time I actually don't have enough to do.
Oh wow, yeah, of course.
And then I'm like, okay, so, and then you start to lose connect with people. Oh, that just so scary me, because I always would like to connect with people, especially like friends and family. And then like, how can I connect with people? Is everything is closed? And it was scary time.
Yeah.
Like one of the scary time of my life. And then I always have social media. I just never really active.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I go on Facebook again, go on Instagram again, and then I start to see other people video about food and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, this is something that I think I can try. And I always, like, food is, I have a big passion about it, but I'm like, how can I share, my passion with everyone? At that time, I do it mostly just for myself.
Right.
And I always cook every day at home and stuff like that at the restaurant. And like, this is something I can share. And then funny, we do live stream on Facebook. I remember the set, it was right there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the sun is gonna hit up, our iPad and the phone.
Oh no.
Okay, this is the thing. At first, when you live, right?
Yes.
I didn't know that when you live, you can just like go back and forth, you rotation wherever you are at first.
That's where you are.
I didn't know that. So at first, I turned it. Entire video went up like sideways. It was hilarious. And then we didn't use speaker, so I tried to yell. It was so fun, but it's a disaster. But you learn every time when you did something, and then you start to learn from it, right?
Right.
And the next video, what I'm gonna do and how to fix one after another, and we improve.
Yes.
But at first, I think it's just a hobby.
Right.
It's just something I deep down I want to share and reconnect with people at that time. And then later on, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna share every dish from the menu at the restaurant with everyone, so people can know how to cook Vietnamese food at home. And then I trying to do that on my own. So I download the app and trying to make video on my own. You will see me, I put my phone here, walk, do a little bit of stuff and stuff like that, and then stop, and then move my phone to another corner of the garden, go and pick up the herb. I know what I want, but I did not know that doing it all on my own was so hard, and then come to edit.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I learned how to edit and put things together, and then voice and stuff like that. I'm like, it is consume a lot of time.
Yeah, it does.
But the good thing is actually bring traffic to the restaurant.
That's
I was
amazing.
shocked. I was like, oh, I only doing it because you want to share.
Yeah.
Then I realized social media work.
Yes, it does.
If you know what to do with it.
Yes.
And I realized people not like old-fashioned way anymore, like gonna walk on the street and then or trying to find something.
Or the man flipping the sign.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Our world is changed. And I did not adapt quick enough at that time. And I realized how important it is for me to adapt. So I started to make it more serious.
Okay.
I'm like, but still until nowadays, I do the show just because I want to share and help people whoever like Vietnamese food and want to try to cook at home. Will be easier and more comfortable. Right? So I introduce about all the herb. Let them know what it's for and how to do stuff, like from basic to really complex.
Okay.
And then start to connecting with the farmer. So you also want to know where you can source this.
Yes.
I also introduce some of the Asian store that where I go and get my stuff, right? And share story behind it, and just trying to connect everyone together. At first, just connect all the small businesses together, and connect my, restaurant with everybody. And like I said, it's shocking because people start to pay attention.
Yes.
People start to come and want to try it out.
Yeah.
And that's why one day Pablo went to my restaurant during COVID.
Okay.
It was he said that it was one of his first time to went out during shutdown.
Okay.
Just to want to get something.
Yes.
And who open out there. So my restaurant was open and he walked in, he saw me. I ordered some gear, a drone.
Oh.
Still don't know how he uses. He saw me have a drone and then he asked me what I'm doing with it. Well, I told him I trying to make video. I have a hard time to figure out things. Oh my God, this is like I have to learn everything from scratch, right?
Yeah.
And he said he can help. So I'm like, oh yeah, come help me. So that's why I bring him in to let him try out. At first, at that time, I'm still trying.
Yes.
Just something new.
Yeah.
And then he also come in just to help out, to try out, because he new to video as well.
Yes.
But he already have a really solid background, right? So he know what, he have a really beautiful mind, like art mind.
Yes.
So when we work together, it's a lot of fun. It's just more like trying to figure out what can we do and how I work and how he work.
Right.
And from there we grow. But like come to our surprise, after that, because of the show, I have lots of people come to the restaurant and try the food out. I start to produce so many different like sauce and products for customer. So help them easy to cook at home.
Yes.
Right, just using the products. And then I started teaching at Longo and other places.
Right.
So I think at first it just comes from an interest because I want to share.
Right. Yeah.
Just my food, my heritage, my culture. But it surprisingly, it opened so many doors for me. Even like we're sitting down here, this is also another door is open up just because of the show.
Right.
So I feel like when I open up and I want to share, and then that also open up a lot of opportunity for me to really to connect, because my goal, my purpose for the show is just to share and connect with people.
Yeah.
And I achieve it.
It's so wonderful. And so in terms of your YouTube channel, can you just share the YouTube channel?
Mostly all the video that we make officially is go to our YouTube channel, Cooking with the Nguyen. And on the side, Pablo and me also do all the social media like Facebook, Instagram, and I manage TikToks and my personal Facebook as well. So we can share a little bit like short video, because sometimes our video is a bit long. Then people can still go to our YouTube and watch the full one. Otherwise, they can just like watch the short one from all the social media page. Yes. It's
awesome. It was such a pleasure to be here with you today.
It's a pleasure.
The food was amazing. The conversation even better. Getting to know you it was awesome. Thank you so much. And I love your heart and the heart for food, for people, for community, for sharing your heritage, your culture, and just bridging the gap as well, because it definitely does. It bridges the gap between people, differences. It brings us all together because we really are. We are one. So
yes. Deep down, we're all the same. Blood and bone the same.
Yes.
We just happen to was born in different part of the world, so our skin all look a bit different. All the trees different. None of the trees the same. They are different species, but you know,
they still need oxygen.
Exactly. But yes, we need to. It's just we need to grow at a path. Right. Then like that, you cannot on your own. Because human being not meant to be by themselves.
Not at all.
So we need to, you know, connect and tie together if we want to grow.
Awesome.
I did my philosophy.
No, it's true. It is true. This is how you make it anywhere in life. It's coming together as a community, and you have that one purpose, focus, and you go forward with that.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And my watermelon, but it tastes really sweet. Thank you so much.